So I'm not gonna lie, this year I got a lot more interested into the Alien franchise, especially thanks to Romulus. And then I played Isolation, and that took me down a rabbit hole of games. And with a new Alien game recently coming out, I thought it would be a good time to look back on how the Alien games have changed over time. So let's get into it. The first Alien game came out in 1982. The objective of the game was to navigate your way through aliens and crush all their eggs, in what I assume is the ship. Man, this looks kind of familiar. In 1984, we got an Alien game for the Commodore. Your goal is to get the crew off the ship and self-destruct the ship. In the game, you're not playing as the characters, you're more playing things from a bird's eye view. You're giving all the characters orders to go from room to room and avoid the alien. On top of this, one of your crew members is an android, and it could be anyone, not just Ash. And when you run into him, your screen is gonna do this. If you encounter the alien here, you'll have a few choices of facing it. This screen is so hilarious. And then in 1986, we got the sequel, Aliens. That same year, we got a game for the PC. The game takes place in a maze with over 255 rooms. And then a year later, in 87, we got another game, titled Aliens, Alien 2. This was released for the MSX home computer. And let me say, for all of these games, including this one, these look like nothing like what we saw in their film counterparts. In this game, you're literally just running to the right and shooting aliens. It's like Contra for the NES, but that was way better. And these both came out the same year. And then in 1990, we got another Aliens game, but this was for the Konami arcade console. Now, to its credit, it does follow the story of Aliens in an arcade format, so you get to see some iconic moments from the film. In 1992, we got Alien 3, and to coincide with that, we got Alien 3. And I don't know how this happened or how this is possible, but there are over 8 different versions of this game. Today, it's a lot easier to release different versions of a game on different systems, but back then, because of how widely different some of these consoles are, those games had to be adapted to fit those specs. Some of the Alien 3 games here are similar in format, with it just being a shooter, killing aliens and saving people, but then others take on a whole new format. This I wasn't expecting, but we got our first Alien vs Predator game in 1993. It was only released for the SNES. I thought this concept first started as the film franchise in the 2000s, but I guess it was alive and well in the 90s too. There was also a Game Boy version of the game released called The Last of His Clan. In 1997, we got the fourth Alien film, which was very interesting, very cheesy, but we also got a game a year later in 1998 called Alien Online. This is the first Alien game to be in 3D, and it functions a lot like Doom. You can look around horizontally but not vertically, and you're just going around firing at enemies. And it's crazy, you'll never directly point your gun at them, but if you're in that direction, you'll hit them. In 2001, we got Alien vs Predator 2 for the PC. I like the fact that you're actually playing from the alien's perspective for once. In 2003, we got this unreleased Alien game, which was designed for mobile phones, and because it's designed for flip phones from the early 2000s, it kinda sucks. But it seems like a lot of fun to just pull out your phone for a quick second and play a little bit of this, I guess. To coincide with Alien vs Predator 2's release, a game was made for the PSP, and it's alright. And then in 2011, we got Alien Infestation. This was made for the Nintendo DS, and fans praised it for its improvements compared to the past Alien games. Making this a side-scroller was a good call, acknowledging the graphical limitations that might have been faced with the DS, and it's a bit of a nostalgic pullback. One interesting thing about this game is that you're encouraged to go back and grab new items that spawn in for upgrades. And then in 2014, we got Alien Armageddon, and it doesn't really feel like an Alien game, honestly. This is another arcade shooter that you'd find at restaurants, and it follows the 2010 perspective of Alien, which I'm personally not a fan of, trying to create a huge swath of aliens instead of a single one on a secluded ship. And now we finally come to the most popular Alien game, Isolation. This game is extremely scary, and by some it's considered to be one of the scariest games of all time. You play as Ripley's daughter, and your goal, as per usual, is to get off this ship without getting caught by the alien and these synths. The game's AI is so advanced and smart. It learns how you hide, it can hear you both in the game and in real life, kind of like some enemies in Lethal Company. And then we didn't really have much release for almost 10 years, and last year we got Alien Descent. Descent is a top-down shooter where you maneuver your marines through a ship, sort of like Halo Wars. And that leads us to December 19th. Alien Rogue has released. This is the first VR Alien game, and oh boy, I bet that's horrifying. Having aliens that close to your face, I can't imagine. But we do have one more Alien game that is releasing in, well, we don't know. And that is Isolation 2. There's no official release date for it yet, but I can't believe it's happening. Especially with the advancements we've had in AI for the past few years. I can't imagine what this thing is gonna do. And yeah, that's all for today. Bye.